Brian Moore returns to the Bellator cage. Let's check out the tail of the tape.
Yeah, see, Brian Moore, much more experienced. Also fought in the Bellator cage before under the big lights.
To Michael C. Williams.
Spike Sports tonight presents Bellator MMA from Budapest, and we begin now with 3 5-minute rounds in the featherweight division. Introducing the blue corner first, at 5'9", weighing in 146 pounds even. His professional record, 5 wins, 2 losses. From Prague, Czech Republic, introducing Michal Horejsi. And across the cage, his opponent fighting out of the red corner at 5'8", weighing in 145.8 pounds as a professional. He brings 9 wins with 5 losses. He fights out of Wexford, Ireland, presenting Brian, the Fight Man Moore. In charge of the action, referee Todd Anderson.
Brian Moore back in the Bellator cage in the red gloves. The last time we saw him, he made his Bellator debut, and while he picked a tough one against Daniel Weichel.
Yeah, he hung in as best he could, but he was outclassed in that fight. He says, I learned a lot taking on one of the best. I'm a better fighter now.
It was just the second time he had been stopped in his MMA career. The first told you a lot about him. He took a knee to the head while grounded. He could have sat out, he could have taken a DQ, but he continued on in the fight and eventually got knocked out.
And he's starting off aggressively in this one. One thing you know instantly about Brian Moore is he's a big guy at 145. Daniel Weichel is a big 145er. I thought Moore, when they fought, was a little bit bigger, and in positions like this where strength matters, I think he's going to have the advantage.
Yeah, Moore was trying to get him up right there. Right now he's looking for a body lock. The key to this position is to get his hands locked before he can think about bringing his opponent to the ground or even landing any strikes, is to get his lock. Try to get that around the body. Horejsi bringing that leg in there, creating a little bit of distance will ruin this position for Moore. When you're trying to get a lock, when your opponent has to be somewhere within that hoop of your grasp, and you can keep him at bay at 6 to 8 inches, you can stop him from doing that. Moore doing a good job now. He's stepping in, he drags him to the ground.
Got to keep him there.
Horejsi, excellent job. And Jimmy, we talk about this a lot, but when you go down to the ground and it's your back that is going to be on the ground, you want to get that on the fence. You don't want your neck on the fence, you don't want your head. You want your back there so that you can spring right back up. We've referenced this before, but that's what Rampage was doing so well against King Mo. And again, when Horejsi's got his back against that fence, it works as a bit of a tag team partner. Moore right now needs to either drag him down to the ground or pull him off that fence, but that fence is working against Moore, and it's costing him a lot of energy.
You got him off the fence.
Horejsi created some space, comes right back up to his feet.
He likes a lot of those rolls. I saw him practicing earlier today. He likes those rolls. Likes to create space with his movement on the ground, but he's got to do more than curl up when they're in those positions and he can't move against the fence. That's when Moore's letting his hands go. He's already bloodying him up. It's been a little too much hanging out in this no zone right in front of the cage.
Moore is aggressive, does a good job at coming forward.
Now Bright sends him backwards.
Oh, uppercut there by Moore.
He's in trouble.
I think that one got through.
Yeah, he's rolling for desperation leg lock here, but Moore doing a good job keeping pressure on him.
Moore could stay right in this position and just start to pound. He could also look to pass to his right. He's got a good underhook here.
There's that roll I was talking about. He likes these scramble positions.
Moore breaks away. I think that might have been smart.
Yeah.
You know, Horejsi was rolling a little bit there, and he's looking for knee bars, and he was looking for Kimuras, which means he could attack the entire body. I think it might be smart that Moore just led back up to his feet.
Look at what a guy does when he's in trouble. That'll tell you his game. As soon as he's in trouble, he's rolling for leg locks, going for the submission game, because he doesn't want to be here.
Left leg kick is the latest one to send Horejsi down to the ground.
Moore's just bothering him non-stop.
Him.
He's just bothering him. Whether they're power shots or they're kicks, whatever's coming, he's just bothering him. Non-stop aggression. We talk about this a lot, guys, but this is a dance, and only one person can lead at a time. Moore did a great job right at the opening of this contest to come out and establish his part as the dominant leader. Horejsi with an underhook here. If he wants to stand up, he could. He's stopping on his knees.
I don't think he wants to.
No way.
I think he wants to pull and roll and make this a tricky jiu-jitsu game, even though he's in bad position right now. Yeah, he likes those rolls. Still hunting for the leg lock, but it's hard to keep a guy down there.
I suspect Moore is going to come across his cage and put a few more jabs right on him. Oh, Horeji's trying to fool him now. Now he's just trying to trick him to come down to the ground. Oh, look at me, I'm down here.
I fell down here. Come get me.
You see when Moore moves forward, he drops his hands. But Horejsi not able to make him pay.
Big shots get through there by Moore.
Yeah, Horejsi has to come up with something new here. Because right now he's getting pounded out. Hasn't had an answer for the stand-up attack of Moore yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many more shots we're going to have to see here.
Yeah, he's the line of intelligently defending yourself is being approached.
30 seconds, Brian. Touch the ear.
In the wrestling ride right now, you know this one well, putting pressure on a guy, not necessarily looking for the hooks, just keeping him down, wearing him out.
Brian Moore said he would bounce back, and he has bounced back a dominant round one. Sometimes, guys, it takes a while for two fighters to separate in class. Not here.
Yeah. Brian Moore leading with the power punches, and dropping his hands, moving forward, a lot of confidence. And what's giving him confidence is power, and Horejsi under attack is going backward. That's just giving him more confidence because he's not throwing anything to catch Moore with his hands down. And Moore knows it's coming. I mean, you can only roll for a leg lock so many times. That's a trick move. That's a, oh, I didn't know that was in your arsenal. Well, Moore knows it's in his arsenal now.
Marcin held against Will Brooks. The first round, he was still fresh. He hadn't taken the beating yet. He came close on a couple of those after that.
Yeah, less and less and less.
Referee taking a good look now. Moore wants to get his forearm in there. He can drop elbows like he is. He can also bring his forearm on right underneath the chin and really push his opponent away.
I talked earlier about that size and strength advantage. This is where you really feel it. This defensive half guard position, trying to push a guy away, and he's still throwing punches at you. Moore's just a bigger, more powerful guy, and accurate with the strikes.
Moore's got an underhook with his right arm, which opens up opportunities to pass if he wants to. He hasn't shown a great interest in trying to pass.
He's going to try and pass through here, and if it gets dicey, he's going to stand up again. He always has that option.
Yeah, he could shift that hip and pull that leg right through. I'm not positive he wants to. He seems to be pretty comfortable in half guard here. Notice how he's coming under the chin. He can keep separation from his opponent, really shut down his opponent's offense from down there. Just by controlling the chin, there's a big shot over the top by Moore. Goes right back to that underhook.
Yeah, you want to know about a pass, watch the chest. It sits up, he's looking to ground and pound. When he brings it down, he's looking to pass. He's going back and forth well between both.
Brian Moore took a year off to open up his own gym. Tonight, he is just opening up a camp.
Yeah, Horejsi just hasn't given Brian Moore a reason to worry about his striking. Rolled a couple times through with footlocks, hasn't come close with anything.
And Moore just hasn't given the referee quite enough to step in and stop it. The referee wanted to. Earlier in the second round, he wanted to, and then Moore kind of settled in position. I could see him doing the math. I've done that myself as a fighter where you think, well, I don't know if this fight's going to get stopped. I better prepare to go another round and a half. Moore is one sprint away from seeing this contest stop, but I don't know if he's going to go on that sprint. I think he might play it a little bit safer. Now he passes guard. He can go around the head all the way to the other side. He's very calm with the cradle. So his opponent starts to break that free. Pressure on the head here to hold him down.
And he's also in good front choke position. He has a few options. But I don't see from what we've seen so far, Horejsi, you know, like I said, rolling for the knee bars. He's clearly comfortable on the ground. Moore's not going to overcommit to anything. He's going to hold position. When it looks dicey, he's going to cut him loose and let him go. But right now, just keeping pressure on him. Look at that.
Oh.
There's no problem with Horejsi standing up. He has all the cards right now.
Now Horejsi's got to make a choice. Does he want more of the same, which would be Moore coming forward and him backing up into the fence, or does he want to try to reverse this position? And he goes back to the let me see if I can fool you into coming down here.
And that right hand might have hurt him. He leaned all the way into that one.
Even these shots are so slow. He's so 2 or 3 seconds behind.
And Moore can see all of them coming in. He's got his head down. He's not seeing the punches coming. This is over.
Shot.
Our referee's just looking for a reason.
We are done.
And he found it.
I got a word for that, Jill. It's target practice.
Yeah, my
Everything
goodness.
he threw landed.
Dropped him with the knee, followed up with a couple of right hands.
Brian Moore just told us he wants to open up the show at Madison Square Garden. That's a very long line, my friend.
Very proud of that flag. He said, I learned a lot from fighting Daniel Weichel, one of the best. He showed that tonight.
Thank you.
He moves forward and he's confident. Man, great performance.
This could have been at any point in the fight.
Yeah. Leading with power shots, and everything he threw hurt Horejsi. Horejsi had no choice but to go to the fence, to move backward, wasn't landing those counter punches that you need to land against a guy who drops his hands. And Brian Moore, all kinds of confidence in his power. That's why you saw the finish.
That's a high-level combination, guys. To lead with a rear elbow and follow up with a lead knee is a very high-level combination we see there. And then he follows with good ground and pound and gave the referee was looking for a reason. He knew, hey, I think that this is a one-sided contest. Moore finally did enough to give it to him.
Still question whether it's the world's most famous arena. We're about 6,000 miles away, and everybody wants to be there.
That's true.
Michael C. Williams will make it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official time, 3 minutes, 57 seconds into round number 2. Referee Todd Anderson waves off the contest due to unanswered strikes. The winner by TKO, Brian the Pikeman Moore.
10th professional win for Brian Moore, his first inside the Bellator cage, and what he hopes will be the first of many. Performances don't get much more impressive than this one from the Pikeman, Brian Moore.